guest. Her,
Yeah,
thank you. Her name is Abiola Bonuola, and she will be talking about her business and what inspired it to this. Good morning.
Good morning, Abiola.
Good morning. Good
How are you?
morning. Great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You have such interesting names, so Abiola Bonuola.
Good.
You shared your love with us this morning, Abi.
Exactly. So much wealth to go around. So she's a tech public relations consultant in Lagos, Nigeria. And she'll be telling us more about why she started the tech PR consultants at Bonola Communications.
Yes.
How are you?
So far it's been great. It's been an interesting journey so far. I started in January 2021, and I did not expect such a huge turnout. I did not know that I was actually trying to solve a problem, you know, at this time. So at first, I was a bit clueless. Okay, what do I do? I just resigned at my previous place of work. That's at ID Africa and Placard. They are subsidiaries of Black House Media. So I just resigned, and at that time, I was like, okay, looks like what could I do at this point in time? What could I achieve? And um, I just spoke to one of my mentors, and he just explained to me that, look at you. Why are you looking for what you would like to do? Why are you asking yourself so many questions? So far, you've been working with a lot of tech startups, a lot of tech brands, and this is even the best time to help them because right now, there is little access to communications for a lot of tech brands. They need a lot of help in that department. And I also realized that they don't even know how to tell their own stories because they're all in their developing state. They're all trying to figure out how to build their apps, how to ensure that their customers you know, are comfortable with them, ensure that their apps are at the best. So it just kind of at that time it just kind of was necessary for me to just help out, and that was how I started with a fintech. So from there, I continued to grow myself, and I started working with other clients who have so far been really, really helpful. I've learned a lot, and I've also been able to, deliver in terms of results. They're always happy to work with me. It's all about the results at the end of the day, anyway. So
That's it.
yeah, yeah.
But starting a new business means that you need to put in so much money. So how have you been able to raise the kind of financing that you require to put your and to be able to provide the kind of services that you're looking at providing for your clients?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said starting a new business requires that, funding is a critical part of starting a new business. And
Yeah.
you just started in January. Have you been able to raise funds to be able to start this business? Especially when you have services that you're providing for your clients.
So it's not really a specific. So the thing is, funding specifically has been mostly self-funded. Right now, we are in a stage where technology just makes things easier for everybody. So you don't necessarily have to build an office to be able to work. You can just hire different people from wherever you are, and they work with you, and they become your staff, and you get to do a lot of things with them. At the end of the day, your clients are happy, everybody is happy. So what really worked for me was that I was able to bring a lot of people together over the past few months. They'll talk to me, and from there we make sure that we deliver on the different tech startups that we work with. We mostly focus on tech startups because at the time, right now, they really need a lot of help. It's it's hard for them to get funding from investors. So it's not something that they can achieve immediately. It's not like they can really, really pay for public relations services at this time. So we focus on startups. When we focus on startups, we give them something at a low budget, and at the end of the day, they get so much returns from us that they even continue to work with us when they do get their investors, when they can finally comfortably have access to all the funding that they need. So for me, basically, um, most of what I've been doing has been self-funded. Um, it hasn't been easy, but as long as I'm trying to help, and as long as I'm, trying to solve a problem, it's really been beneficial mentally for me, and business-wise, it's been really beneficial. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. What's your success rate? And would you love to share some success stories with us?
Okay, so I have been working with a fintech, as I said. Sorry, I can't really mention all my clients
No, of course not. But just share
because some
some.
clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can just talk about one that I
Mm.
worked with at the beginning of the year. That was VBank,
Okay.
and we focused more on. So they were launching a product that was their 3.0. It was a new app,
Mm.
and I worked with them throughout in terms of media relations. We focused on talking about how VBank is trying to change the ecosystem, digital bank ecosystem. They are very, very innovative. They do a lot of interesting things. They are very customer oriented. So that was being successful. And right now, the perception generally about VBank is that everybody thinks that VBank is the best in sliced bread, which is true because they do a lot of innovative stuff, and nobody really knew about it at the time. But now they are more open to public relations. And Efe, who is also their head at right now, she has also been very, very supportive of me, and we've been working together for a while now to ensure that the narrative of the bank is very, very positive so far. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, I can see here that you manage celebrities and all. So tell us which.
The funny thing is, I met you before physically. I met you, you, Buki. So I met you while I was working last year on the Better BB Niger campaign.
Okay.
And where I was, literally following all the housemates up and down, ensuring that Betty was
Oh,
being talked about.
oh,
So,
that's
I was that chubby lady at the back that nobody really noticed.
yes, that's true.
So,
Interesting
We
picture.
remember. We
yeah.
remember now.
So, um, so yes, I've worked with a lot of celebrities. I have access to influencers. I have access to the media based on my background in public relations, and I used to work in the media before, so it's actually easier for me to
Yeah,
connect with people and relate with people.
I feel you.
So that was how I just found myself in tech public relations.
So you
Yeah.
love this. It's your natural space. What makes you tick about the whole job?
It's actually very interesting for me. It's not, yeah, it is my natural space. I find it so easy. I can relate with everybody. I network easily. Because in public relations you really need to network so much so that you can have a lot of opportunities for your clients, like so that you can give them access to different kinds of things. So um, yeah, it's just somewhere that I find peace at. I just it's very comfortable for me. Although I don't sleep at night, though. Let me be honest.
Is that part of the challenge? Is that
I
part of
don't sleep at night at all because I have to work sometimes overnight to ensure that my clients are happy, just to meet up. Satisfaction is important too. So,
exactly quality?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, for someone who is in public relations and who deals a lot with people, how has it been getting people together to work with you and creating a business that is people oriented? And how have you been able to get talent to ensure that you're able to provide the right services to your clients? Abiola, did you hear me?
I think there's a delay there. Maybe you have to repeat your question.
So because of my experience, I've worked with a lot of. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you now.
Okay. So yeah, because of my experience, I've worked for the past 3 years with a couple of. I'd worked at two different agencies, and I'd worked with the media. So I kind of had that relationship with people from from those experiences. So working with the media, they just followed me into everything I was doing. They met me at Black House Media, and they were like, "Oh, I know you now. We used to work at this and that place," and that was how we became closer. And then when I started working with creatives and people that could add value to different tech startups, it was even easier for me because they just said, "Oh, Abiola, and let's work together now." As long as you're helping somebody, you're providing in how would I call it? You're giving people access to things, it's easier for you to work with anybody. So, for example, a graphic designer, working with a graphic designer is easy for me because I already have a lot of contacts who are really, really good graphic designers, and they know, what's up in the industry, the best kind of things to create. So, then other public relation consultants too, it's easy for me to work with them because I already have experience. They already know me in the industry. So just easy for me to just relate with people, network. And from there, I was able to deliver to my clients and give them more access to a lot of things. So recently, I was on a tax conference platform where I was literally moderating a forum, and we even had people from the FIRS talking about tax on the platform. So because of that, I was able to relate with some of the guys there. Sir, it's really nice to meet you, but my tech clients, some of them need your help. They are really, really good in the business. They are really, really trying to add value to a lot of Nigerians. Their customers are happy with them. And I think this is something you guys should look at. It's just about networking and just relating with people. And when people just like you, when you smile, it is easier for it's easier for you to just achieve what you need to achieve. Yeah, for
That's
client
quite,
engagement. Yeah.
that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Nigerian space is mature enough for PR penetration? Considering the fact that most people think, what is she going to do? Is not to just post one or two pictures and post something on social media. Yeah. How do you
It's
deal
not
with
just to post pictures. It's not just to post pictures. There are a lot of things that public relations professionals do. There are a lot of things. So there's government relations. We do corporate activities. There are a lot of things that we do. Like, we're always busy people, but the thing is nobody really sees us because we're behind
the screen?
our computers, working and working and working. So we don't really have the time to even talk about what we do, and
Yeah.
people don't really know that, oh, you are seeing this brand because somebody is there doing the work.
Pushing it in your
So
face.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, really, they don't really even know that that's what's going on. So, um, for me, honestly, I've done so much work in terms of um, influencer marketing. I've done a lot of digital PR. I've done a lot of media relations. Media relations is even like one of the easiest part of PR because when it comes to the strategy area where you have to sit down with people, start talking about, okay, this your brand, or this is the issue that is going on with this brand. I think you should try this. It takes a while before people can really receive or they are willing to accept your advice as a public relations person. I think public relations people are like lawyers. um you don't really go to a lawyer until you're in trouble. You know, sorry, running out of scatter.
Yeah.
Well, lawyers, yeah, if you had your lawyer right from the start, they would, give you advice from the beginning. Okay, this is what you should try, this is what you should do, you know. So public relations, I think that's what we are like. So it's always important that you start with us from the beginning. Ensure that your brand has the right story. That is how you continue. Because see, let me be honest, there are a lot of the biggest brands today, they invest heavily in public relations. And Nigeria, in particular, have a lot of public relations professionals. We have hundreds, thousands, but nobody really knows that this is a huge field, especially for startups. SMEs need public relations to continue to grow. That's just the truth. But nobody really considers that they need these things because they're like, let me shall make money, let me shall let me continue to. It's not about just making money. You need to also ensure that the perception of your brand, perception of your business is positive. That is how you continue to make money.
So
Yeah.
what are the challenges you face on the job?
Mostly the challenges I've faced so far are mostly um, maybe people are brands or brand managers can be a bit they like to take their time when it comes to accepting advice. Yeah, sometimes, and as I said, there public relations people are like lawyers. So it's until you really get into trouble that you start. Please, I need this PR person. Please, how can I do this? Like we call it crisis management in public relations. So, um, yeah, I think that's my major challenge. If you see some of my TikTok videos, that's where you see me running away from because a brand will just come out of the blues. I'm like, please, I'm having this issue. And you're like, okay. And now I have to take my time to study the brand, understand what the brand has done in the past few years. Like, okay, I have to, it's a lot of work. Crisis management is like the hardest part
So it's
for
the most
me
challenging of
in public
the.
relations. So it's like, those are the challenges for me. The fact that people don't come to public relations people at the time that they need to show up. They are meant to
They
come
come
to
when
meet
there's
us when everything
crisis.
is still looking good. When everything is still looking good, and then when the crisis comes ahead, then we can we can help out. We are comfortable. We already understand the brand. We're like, this is going to be easier for me. It's not a problem. So I think that's my major challenge. And another challenge that I've noticed and probably is that talents. So a lot of tech platforms have issues getting talents, even in tech PR. So tech PR is not really popular in Nigeria, but there are a lot of people doing tech PR right now. I can speak of some of my competitors like Wimbat and Filion. So yeah, so that's just it. It's a big field, but nobody really knows about it. Nobody really knows that it's something that is important right now. Tech companies are just coming. They're trying to make the environment and the society better,
Mhm.
but they don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to tell their stories in a way that will ensure that they achieve the results that they plan out to go out to achieve. So for me, basically, I feel that they just need to get a public relations advisor first that would, put them through. Okay, this is what you need to do. I talk a lot about small and medium scale enterprises and how they can continue to achieve growth, business growth, just by ensuring that they start with a public relations person because it just makes things easier for them. Their businesses grow, the people know more about them. And when people know more about you, you get business. There's no way. There's no way. You get business. So so for me, it's just it's just the talent area that I've had issues with. Getting people that is specific to to a specific line, like people that are experienced in tech PR, is very, very difficult because it's a bit new in Nigeria. But public relations generally is something that has been in Nigeria for a long time, over 20 years, in fact.
So
Yeah.
tech PR and PR, where do you draw the line?
So tech PR is for mostly for technology companies, companies that are focused on technology. It's a different kind of it's an aspect of public relations basically. So it focuses on ensuring that these tech businesses grow. We focus on government relations. As I said, we speak to members of the that's policymakers. We speak to policymakers who can ensure that tech companies are they receive tech companies better basically. So it's not just a matter of, oh, this tech company has started a product and then they just go to markets immediately and that's it. Sometimes you just need to ensure that you're on the best regulatory side. The government, the policymakers are not upset with you because you just went out without informing them or giving them proper information about your product. And you need to also be sure that you've not done something wrong in terms of regulations, in terms of your product, your services. So for me, I think that tech PR is just the right step for startups and brands.
Well,
It's just the right step for startups and brands. Yeah. Yeah.
You've been a startup also, and I hear you talk so enthusiastically about what you do. Um, who are your competitors, and how have you been able to, to reach out in that market and take the space that you have currently?
So as I said, my computers have been Wimbats. There was a time that okay, then I have another computer, but most of them are not really in Nigeria. So most of them are outside Nigeria. Some are African, and some are in the UK. And yeah, they just try to, even though they're in the UK, they still try to ensure that they help startups in Africa, basically. So that's good. I think I'm one of the few Nigerians that are into tech PR, and um, yeah, yeah. I mentioned Wimbat, Seymour Media,
don't mention
Beyond.
them. Don't mention them. You are giving them publicity.
Well, they'll be fine. I think that the space is big
Yeah.
enough for
Okay.
everybody.
Hmm.
Because there are a lot of things right now that we need in the environment, in the society. And if tech startups can provide that, why shouldn't we support them as public relations of professionals?
Hmm.
So that's it for me.
All right.
That's a good spirit.
What sets you apart, though? Why should I use you instead of one of your competitors?
So the difference between me and my other competitors that I am more localized, meaning that I have access to local media in each African country. So I don't just focus on Nigeria. I focus on Ghana, Kenya, Rwanda. I have localized access. And then other than that, I'm also more affordable. So more affordable because I have a budget, a specialized budget for startups and SMEs. So we know that okay, as a startup, these are the things that you need. We know that you cannot afford us at a particular time. Okay, this is what we can assist you. This is what we can do for you. So it's not just we don't just turn people away and say, oh, you're not ready for public relations. I think that's what a lot of big companies do, and I don't think that is really advisable because a lot of startups just go and die after when they don't have access to what they need. So I just feel that it's important that you help them out in one way or the other. Although recently I've noticed that in the industry, that's the tech PR industry, there are a lot of webinars for tech startups that just need help. But sometimes they just need that specialized conversation. Okay, let me look at your brand. Is this what it is? Okay, this is what I can help you with. I think you might need help in this aspect. Okay, maybe you need a developer, a better developer, because sometimes some of my clients reach out to me, Abiola, please, can you help us get a new developer that can do this and do that? So I give them access to that because I already have friends in that department. So it's just about networking, as I said, smiling with everybody and having a positive attitude at the end of the day.
How many people work for you? What's your staffing like?
Okay, so as I said, we have I have a lot of people working with me. Basically, I have a lot of people working with me. So from graphic designers, publication consultants, um, we may look small, but we're not small at all because sometimes I even have to outsource um, for help because it's a lot of work. so so yeah, I have a lot of people working with me, and they usually focus on public relations in for technology companies specifically. You can't just have, as I said, talent is hard, but we still try to ensure we get those people that are specific to the industry. Yeah.
So how do you make money? It's very important for the business to continue running.
Okay, so making money is not hard though. Making money is not hard at all. For me, um, it depends on the numbers. So if I have 10 SMEs working with me, I don't think I have a problem with money. I don't even think money has been an issue for me since I started. Do you get? Because there are a lot of fintechs, there are a lot of health tech companies now that need public relations. There are a lot of logistic companies that are into the technology space, basically. So they all need this help that I'm giving at this point in time. Maybe in the next 1 year or in the next 10 years, I might find myself um, having a bigger company, and I might be charging for, because at that time probably the tech brands I'm working with would have also become bigger. So it just, for me, I don't have any issue making money. Money just comes in from my SMEs, this small SMEs that I work with. That's the tech companies, the tech startups. Yeah. So I have not had an issue. When tech startups get funding from investors, right? It's easy for them to say, okay, we might not have a budget for public relations now, but what I can do is, if we work with us for this particular period of time, in the next few months or the next few years, I can help you. We can continue business with you, and we'll get results. So sometimes I even, start out free of charge. I'll say, okay, I can do this and this for you free of charge. And then after that, I then focus deeper on the businesses, and that is where I have to charge more.
All
So
right. All
it's
right.
it's just, yeah,
You,
it
you
hasn't been a
mentioned
problem at all.
you mentioned sparingly 10 years from now, maybe when they grow. What is your future
Yeah.
view? What are your plans for the future, the next 5, 10 years?
So in the next 10 years, I hope that it's not just the company I'm running. I'm also running a product, meaning that everything is tech based. I'll also have a tech product that says, okay, do you need public relations? Just use this product instead of physical activity, having so many people. Instead, more people will be on the platform. So there are a lot of companies now that they do a lot of how they recruit talents. They are tech-based companies. They recruit talents. I can't remember what they call them, but they recruit talents, and a lot of freelancers just go there. They work with them, and that is what I hope to have in the next 10 years. I don't know. We're working towards it, my team and I. So
All right.
yeah.
That's a lovely one. So before we let you go, usually we ask you to give us that phrase, that makes you tick, that helps, that guides you in everything you do. It could be business-wise and personally as well. So just share with us.
Okay. Personally, I just believe in just smiling at everyone and ensuring that I give them the results. You know,
That's it. So it's like, some people say,
networking is very key for me. Networking is like the biggest thing that. Yeah. Do you need a personal quote? You're talking about a
yeah,
particular
personal
quote, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. A personal quote. Let's see. Um,
Abiola is
okay, so I think my personal goal to just be that you should be honest to everybody about what is like honesty and regard just opens doors for you, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank
It's been
you.
great talking to you, Abiola.
All right. So that's it on the show this morning. Thank you, Adia.
Thank you, Bukola. Thank you, Ifeanyi, for having me in the studio.
Thank you. And thank you, listener, for tuning in. Remember, we do this every Monday at 8 o'clock. It runs all the way to 8:30 in collaboration with Nairametrics here on Classic FM 97.3 station. Plays every song you know. We'll take a short break now and we continue at the other side.